So it is after midnight right now, and I was on TikTok, couldn't sleep. I actually have been napping all day, so it was perfectly on brand that I couldn't go to sleep. But I seen this video of this girl talking about how she got out of the Matrix and how she relied on faith and patience and all these other things to change her life and stop relying on the government's manufactured plan for people. And lately I've been seeing a lot of videos or TikToks and like little quotes and things about manifestation, relying on faith, taking risks, getting out of the matrix. I've been seeing a lot of it. And I just felt compelled at this moment to sit down and talk about this because I don't know if I ever have. And a little bit of within me, I'm a little frustrated within myself because I did this. And first and foremost, I want to say it works. Manifesting, faith, relying, risking, all of those work. And I believe that I am a testament to that. Like, I feel like my move to Las Vegas is a real testimonial situation. Like, people can really understand how well it worked. But I'm a little frustrated with myself because I've let people around me, my situation, my surroundings, my environment control me to the point where I feel like I can't do it anymore. I can't have the faith. I can't manifest. I can't be patient. I can't take the risk. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Let's remember. So for anyone who is new to my channel and has never seen anything from me, just a little backstory. In 2014-15, I convinced my husband to drop everything and move across the country to Las Vegas. We had never been to Nevada. We had never talked about moving to Nevada. We had talked about moving out of Michigan, not really sure where we wanted to go. I always knew that I wanted to be close to California because of me doing music and whatnot, and I just felt like I can't afford to live in California, so I'll live as close as possible. And Las Vegas just seemed like a reasonable place to move to. When I started really feeling like this was what I wanted to do, I talked him into it. We left in May of that year. I want to say it was 2015, 16, something like that. Anyway, we left in May with literally less than $1,000, about $900, and 2 cars full of our stuff and our 4 kids. Our oldest was 4 at the time. I think he turned 4 the day we got there. That, to the everyday person who relies on going to work and working a 9-to-5 and paying your bills and doing things the way that you're taught to do them or the way you're supposed to do them, would think that that's the stupidest thing that anybody could ever do. Why would you put your kids at risk? Why would you risk being homeless? But every step of the way, because I truly did believe that this was what I was supposed to be doing, no matter how crazy it sounded, it worked. Everything worked out for us. My van broke down on the way there. That was not in our budget plan. Like, our budget was this $900 that we went with was supposed to last us until one of us got a job. Luckily, I mean, not luckily, I mean, the manifestation and the faith and believing, we got there and my husband got a job the next day. He was working then very next day of us moving there. Back to the car breaking down. Again, that wasn't in the budget. The guy not only didn't charge us for the parts, but gave us the extra parts in case, because my brakes went out. Gave us the extra brakes that came in the pack. What else happened? Just everything worked out exactly how it was supposed to. I had booked us a room for 5 days, for almost $400. 5 days for almost $400. The manifestation and the faith and the risk and the moving blindly, they didn't accept the payment option that we had. The card that we were using, it was a prepaid card. They didn't accept that. So they canceled the reservation, gave me my money back. We're driving around the city. We find this guy. He tells us about this other hotel. It's a what are they called? I can't even think. A weekly. So for 7 days for $200. We got 2 more days for less than basically half of what I was paying in the first place. Everything was working how it was supposed to. And this is not me coming at my husband in any way possible, but even with all of his negativity and his fear and his not really trusting me that everything would be okay, it still was working out. Everything was going exactly how it was supposed to, because there was so little fight. I'll say that. I wasn't fighting any of it. Anything that was happening. Even if it felt like this is wrong, this is stupid, this isn't how this is supposed to be. I didn't fight it. I let it happen. I walked right into the fire. I was willing to, my mind was completely open to whatever was going to happen. And for the 3 years that we were out there, that's how I felt about everything. He had gotten a job opportunity from this really shady guy. I don't even know if it was a real job opportunity or not to this day, but there was talk of us moving to California. And at no point was I like, well, we can't afford to live out there. I mean, my response to him was, if that's what you think we should do, or if this is really what you want, or if you think you would want that job, I was more than positive. And because this guy was super shady, that fell through. But I feel like it was a good thing. It's a good thing that it didn't happen, because again, that guy was super shady, not trustworthy at all. Who knows what our life could have been if, just pursuing that would have happened. I didn't need to fight my husband about, no, we shouldn't do that because he's shady and I don't know if you can trust him, blah, blah, blah. I didn't need to say all of that, because the universe was taking care of it for me. In the moment, I did not realize that the universe was working with me and for me. I just thought, this is what I needed. I needed to get away from what I'm used to and the comfort of being around family and friends. I mean, that is true. That is all very true. And I had no choice but to rely really on myself and my husband and my situation. But I guess I'm frustrated with myself now, because I feel like I'm getting signs from the universe telling me I need to do things and that I need to let go of the fears that I have. And I can't believe I'm about to cry. Give me a minute. I feel like I've been getting signs, and the universe has been like yelling at me to do things and to get things done, and not necessarily get up and move again, but be that person again, be more open, be more trustworthy. And I don't know really where this came from, because I have always, even since I was a little girl, even being so shy, I was such a trustworthy person. I was, I was such a trusting person. Like, I trusted everybody. I listened to the universe. I did things that I wanted to do. I was that person who tried things. I was open to being different, and even with that, I felt like I always still had something or somebody in my ear telling me, no, that's dumb. Don't do that. And it wasn't until I was an adult, where I didn't really have a choice but to listen to myself, where I started acting on those things, where I started being like, you know what, the universe is telling me to do this, or something in me is telling me that I need to do this, so I need to do it. I kid you not. And my mom mentioned this to me not too long ago, brought it up to me. I used to do things like fashion specifically, and there was always somebody who was like, that's stupid, that's ugly, don't do that. And even my family sometimes would be like, maybe you should change, or maybe you shouldn't wear that. And years later, it would be the top thing to do. And I'm sure everybody has those moments where they feel like, I used to do that, or I'm ahead of my time, or things like that. But my point in bringing that up is just like, I have the ability to be that person again, to take the risk, to jump, to know that everything will be okay. And again, nothing on my husband at all, but I feel like I need to express it, or it just is going to keep eating at me. He's not that person. And I didn't know that when we met. I didn't know that he was such a by the book person, which is not a problem. He provides for us, he takes care of us, and he's willing to do that. Like, that's what he wants to do. That's his comfort. But then I think to myself, can people on totally opposite sides of the spectrum really coexist with each other and both be happy? By no means am I sitting here saying that maybe we should split up or anything like that. These are questions that come to my mind. And the thing is, I don't know how to answer them. And I'm not really looking for answers like from you guys. I just feel like it's necessary for me to say this, because other people might be feeling this way as well. Somebody else might actually be feeling like they need to split up from who they're with. I don't know. It like, I miss me. It's kind of how I feel. Like, I miss who I was. I miss that girl who was ready to just, let's go, Like, when people say, if you have kids, you can't travel. Why the fuck not? Like, I love my kids, and I love traveling with them, and I love taking them on adventures, and I want to give them my spirit. I want to give them the option to live freely. And again, can you co-parent with somebody who doesn't want that? I feel sad all the time. And I feel like it's holding me back. I haven't been able to write a song in weeks, and I don't know why. I have this performance coming up, and I'm trying to stay so positive. Like, I am legitimately trying to hype myself up and tell myself that everything, it's going to be a great show. It's going to work out, and it's going to be beautiful. Like, everybody's going to love it. The crowd is going to rock with me. But, like, right here, this part of my mind, like, just this little, where are my finger covers? It's like, girl, you know nobody's gonna like it. You know ain't nobody gonna be like, that's, and I used to not be like that. You can go back to my old videos and see that clearly this bitch did not care about what she was doing or what she was posting, because cringe. Some of these videos on my channel are like, what were you thinking? And that's just it. I wasn't thinking. If anybody's watching this, that means I posted it, and I can't believe I grabbed the courage to do that. I don't know what I'm called to do anymore. And it's scaring me because I know what I love to do, and I know what can change my world and my life, and what I feel like the gift that God gave me is. It's my talent, my singing, my voice is my instrument. The abilities that I have with my voice are outrageous. And I feel like nobody knows that because I'm always trying to fit into the aesthetic of what's trending, the SZAs, the Ariana Grandes, and all the popular stuff. But I'm not that. I am the Whitneys and the Mariahs and the Brandys and the Celine Dions and the Michael Jacksons. That's where I'm at. That's the talent that I am. And I sound crazy saying that when that's not what y'all get from me. And that frustrates me. Like, that sincerely puts me in a place where I'm just like, me and my sister were having a conversation about it one day, and granted, we were both kind of drunk, but I remember this conversation, and she was asking me, well, what kind of music do you want to make? And I couldn't really answer because I sincerely didn't even know what she meant by that. Like, what do you mean, what kind of music do I want? I want to make good music. I want to make music that people can relate to and feel. And honestly, when I write, sometimes I feel like that's what I am doing. I have maybe 20 songs at best, at least, on my hard drive that are 100% the type of music that I would want to make. But I can't release them because of so many different things. One, I didn't buy the beat, so I can't just release them. I mean, that's minuscule. I can take care of that. But then it's like the fear of feeling like, well, people aren't going to understand this. People aren't going to like this. Somebody is. Somebody's going to like it. Somebody is going to love what I do. I'm stopping people from liking me. Like, 100%. Down to the nitty gritty. It is what it is. I am stopping people from liking what I do. And that's frustrating. Because I was not that person. I did not used to be that person. I did not used to sit and harbor over this much. I wrote a really shitty song once when I was little, and I will never forget it. It was like literally it was like a book report. I distinctly remember this. Like, it was the word, like, there was no hook. There was no distinction between verses. It was like all my thoughts written down, and I just sang it. And I sang it to my dad, and he was like, this isn't a song. This is, and he was right. But at the same time, why can't I write a song like that? Why does there have to be a verse 1, hook, verse 2? Why? Why can't I tell my story or my feelings in a book report? I used to think I was gorgeous. I used to think I am the sexiest thing alive. I can't even look at myself anymore. I don't know what it is. Like, what is taking over my free spirit? Like, there's something in me. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest, this is helping a little bit. Like, this is releasing me a little bit, like hearing it out loud, because I think these things all the time. Sometimes I'll even write them down, but it's never out loud. It's never being said. People are going viral for being delusional. I was delusional. I lived the most delusional life all my life. I moved back to Michigan and my entire spirit fell apart. Like, my delusion was out the window. Delusional where? It's time to live in reality. La La Land has got to go. I don't like it. I don't like it here. Reality sucks. I'd like to go back to delusional, please. There are people in my life that make me feel like I'm not worthy of the things that I want. I shouldn't want to travel. I shouldn't want to experience new things, new cultures, new foods, new anything. I shouldn't want to fly on a plane. I shouldn't want to take a cruise. I should want to live my life as a mom at home, 9 to 5. I know they shouldn't be in my life, obviously. It's a strange thing. It's very strange. If you made it to this part of the video, thanks. It really does mean a lot. And if this helps someone, you're welcome. And I'm very thankful that I'm able to do that for you. I guess I can't say I want to be a social media influencer and not be on social media, but is that what I want? I don't even know. I don't even know if that's, I just want to make music. It's not like I want to influence people to make music or influence people to do anything. I just want to make music. I want to make music and be able to survive, be able to feed my kids and give them a roof and live the life that I want to live. I just want to make music. I just want to be happy. I did things that I would have never, ever imagined myself doing when I was living in delusional land. When I moved to Vegas and started doing YouTube, it was the parts of me that was still living in reality that was keeping me from progressing the way that I knew I should have been. It's always me. I can't keep trying to put blame on everybody or things when I know that it's in me. It's something in me that's causing me not to do what I want to do or get where I want to get, or, you know, etc. I just have to let it go. Like, for real, I just have to let it go. It was easy to think, well, nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter what I do or what I say. But because I know, like, I don't know that. I don't know anything. It's the overthinking. I hate it. I hate having the knowledge, because sometimes that's really what it is. And then, like, when I'm homeschooling my kids, I get a little frustrated because things that seem common sense to me, like, they won't know. And then I'm like, but should I be upset if they don't know that? Because ignorant is so bliss. Ignorance is the most blissful thing ever. And it is, because, again, back to moving to Las Vegas, I didn't know anything. I didn't know how anything was going to work. I had never been there a day in my life. Never. Had no clue what it was going to be like, how hot. I knew nothing. Nothing. And I was the happiest I had ever been. I had some of my lowest moments there too. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's not always just a happy, happy life when you're in delusional land. You know, you still have things that go wrong and that can bring you down. But it's just being in that blissful state where it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. And tomorrow can be the most wonderful day, or tomorrow can be the most terrible day. But I'm going to find out. Whereas in this state that I'm living in, here in Michigan, I know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to get up. I know I'm going to get my kids up. I know I'm going to argue with my husband. Like, I know what's going to happen. I want to be living in ignorance again. Like, my kids can be happy. And that's what it is. Not that kids are ignorant, but it's just the fact that they don't know anything. They don't know what's going to happen. They're living day by day they're experiencing everything for the first time. Every day of their lives. I hate that I feel like my kids are in a box. They're not really living life. They're just existing. They're not experiencing anything. One of my kids, you know, I ask them periodically, what do they want to be when they grow up? And one of my kids said that he wanted to work at Bath and Body Works like me. And although there's nothing wrong with that, because I do know what he's saying he wants to, like, because I come off like I'm so happy and I love my job. And not that I hated my job or anything like that, but that's not what I want to hear my kids say. That is, like, I don't want you to strive to be a cashier in a store. And it, like, I just smiled and I was like, oh, okay. But inside, I'm like bawling. I'm crying inside, because it's like, I'm not giving you enough to know that there's more out there. The time that I did give them some experience, they were way too young to even remember it. I know that they remember being in Vegas, I know that they remember the heat. I know that they remember being able to swim all the time. My kids had a great life in Nevada, and I let them be free. And they don't have that here. They're not experiencing anything here. Just like that. They didn't have tablets. They didn't care about being on phones or anything like that when we were in Vegas. As soon as we moved back here, their first Christmas back here, I felt obligated to get them tablets because there's nothing for them to do in Michigan. Nothing. Now they're addicted to screen time. They only do things to be able to get on electronics. So they're not really learning anything when we do school. They're not really understanding the repetition of getting up and making sure that you have a clean house and that you shower and that you brush your teeth and you care for yourself every day. They're not picking it up because they only do it once they're told, well, there will be no electronics if you don't do these things. I feel like a fucking broken record. I'm sick of saying that to them. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. It's hard. This life is hard. And for those who are privileged and blessed and whatever other word you want to put in there, to be able to live a very lavish life or simple life or happy life, those who are able to be there, please stop taking it for granted. I know that every day is not easy for anybody. And I know that people are probably or can probably see my life and probably think, oh man, she's beyond lucky. Like, because I know that people do. I know people look at my life and think, why is she so upset? Why is she so angry? Why is she so sad? How can you be depressed? How can you not be happy? Because I'm not doing anything that I want to do. I'm not living the life that I want. But what do? I make the best of a situation that I'm in. That's what I have to do. And I guess I'm a little tired of that too. I'm tired of having to make the best of a situation. Why can't I make the best situation? Not make the best of a situation. Like, I'm tired. With all these feelings, you would think I'd have like 10 songs. It is now 1:30 in the morning. I've been talking your ear off for a while, and it's time for me to go do something because I'm not going to sleep. That's clear. Again, to those who made it to this point in the video, you're one of a kind, because what? Thanks for letting me talk your ear off and just put my emotions out there. This is probably the most vulnerable video that I have ever made in my entire life, and probably will ever make. And I hope it gets to somebody. I know it's going to go where it's supposed to go. So, thanks.